Per Eriksson. So here we are in Mallorca, and we're at the Bodega Biniagual here to meet with the winemaker Matthieu Pichenot to hear about how they make their wine from the local grapes like Montenegro that they have planted here not too far away from the mountains, Transmontania. If you were to explain for somebody that's never ever tried the wines of Biniagual about the style, what would you say?
I think in two words, wine from Biniagual, it's elegance and complexity. We prefer to use local varieties, and that's the secret to produce elegant wine. We have in Biniagual a lot of local varieties. In Biniagual, we use especially Mato Negro for the red, Prensal for the white, but we have some Cayet too, and we project to plant in the future some Escursac and some Shiraz, white one. We have some other grapes like Shiraz or Cabernet Sauvignon, and that's just for complete some blends when we want to produce a wine with an aging potential.
How did it all started? Why did you get interested in wine?
When I was a child, I want to be or a farmer or a cooker, a chef. It was the two very different. And after, with more maturity, I find that the wine, it's the link to the field, to the vineyard, to the gastronomy.
So what in the wine was so interesting?
The wine is the real expression of a place, of a landscape, of a terroir. I think that a bottle of wine, a glass of wine, it's a photography of geographic situation, but it's a photography too of the tradition of a place.
Then being interested in wine, with a poetic touch, as you say, where then did you start to work with wine?
First, work in Burgundy. I studied in the viticulture school of Bonn. I decided to have experience international, and I went to made wine in Mexico. I made wine after in all region of France, southwest, Burgundy, in Corse, Languedoc. I stayed 6 years in a very interesting project with very good friends in south of France, in Gaïda, and now I'm in Biniagual.
So why Biniagual?
I think that I found in Biniagual all that I always looking for. In Biniagual, you can create sustainable farming system. Biniagual, it's really traditional village. A typical Mallorquin farm, it's a mixed farming system. It's not just wine, just sheep. The traditional farming in Mallorca, it's polyculture.
What's the history behind Biniagual?
There is vines in Biniagual since Roman times. In the beginning of 20th centuries, with the phylloxera crisis, all the vines disappear. After that, Biniagual stay mixed farming. The new history of Biniagual beginning in the 70s when Graf family buy all the village and all the fields to beginning a new story. They really want to keep the Mallorquin spirit. They really want to keep the mixed farming system. Biniagual terroir, it's perfect for wine, and the wine is the way to give a future to Biniagual.
So what about the soils, the terroir that you find around Biniagual?
The soil of Biniagual is very adapted for wine growing. Limestone clay, very typical of a lot of vineyard. we have natural draining, and that's very important.
Tell me about the wines that we have in front of us here then.
Okay, that's the best moment, the tasting.
Yeah.
If you want, we're beginning with the white one. It's a Memories of Biniagual. It's a wine made with a majority of Prensal and some Chardonnay and just a little bit of Muscat. But really, we want to express here minerality, freshness, and elegance. We have some citrus aromas and something very, very mineral. We don't aging in barrels because we really want to respect the typicity of the grape in this wine.
And then the next wine we have here is...
Next one is very special because it's a 100% Montenegro. The color it's very clear for red. Okay, it's remember me the Pinot Noir from Burgundy. It's very complex in aromas. You find some cherries, sweet spices, and the aging it's in food too. That's very important because we have to preserve Montenegro to the oxygen because it's very sensible.
And then the next wine is...
The next one is the Veran. It's really the famous one of Biniagual, the more popular wine in Biniagual. It's a blend of Montenegro, 50-60%, and after we complete just with some Cabernet Sauvignon and some Shiraz. And this one, it's a more typical aging in French oak barrels during 12 months. It's very rich, complex, it's a full body wine. And the last one, it's very special, it's the Grand Veran. We're using for this one the oldest Montenegro vine, 60% of Montenegro, complete with the best barrel of Shiraz. Montenegro for typicity, from the elegance, and Shiraz from the body and the spicy aromas. All aging 12 months in French oak barrels. We are looking for something with a lot of concentration, very expressive in aromas.
They all have a very specific character, I must say. Yeah, it's very special. As a winemaker then, Matthieu, to dream ahead, what is the next one standing over here?
We have a lot of ideas. First, we want to compete with more local grapes. Maybe introduce the Shiraz in the white. Maybe have another white with a little bit more concentration with barrel aging. And in the red, I really want to make a special blend with just only local grapes. That I think is the future.
If you were to give an advice to a young person that wants to become a winemaker like yourself, what would you say?
I think it's important to travel, to have a lot of experience and a lot of influence.